All right, hi everybody, John Meadows here, and today I'm going to bring you a really cool high intensity technique that we've been using this year. I call it the 10 for 25 technique, and all that means is you take a weight that you can do for 10 good reps and you do 25 with it. Now that doesn't make sense. If you can only do 10, how do you do 25? Well, it's really similar to a cluster set. So you're going to do your 10 reps with a full range of motion, and then you take a little break, kind of like you do with a cluster set. Now normally when we do cluster sets, we usually take a 20 to 30 second break, but we're only taking a 3 to 5 second break on these, and you get right back in there and you do as many reps as you can with a full range of motion. And when you can't get the full range of motion, when you can't do the rep to a full range of motion, then you stop and you just keep doing that process until you get to the number 25. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, let's do the set first. Then we'll talk about why would you want to do it, what exercises does it make the most sense for, because from the outside looking in, it sounds pretty crazy, but there actually is some really good science behind it. So I'm going to go now. These are extremely painful. It's a high intensity technique. So Brett's going to keep an eye on me and make sure I don't die. I found the weight, I've already warmed up. I found the weight that's a hard 10. So I've got to gut out 25 reps, okay? Now, why would you want to do something like that? Several reasons. Number one, you might just be in a hurry. You might just be limited on time, and you want to make the most of your time. Now, the other thing is, so if you think about building muscle at its most fundamental level, mechanical tension is what builds muscle. That means hard reps. That means reps that are hard enough that you're, I got to give you a little bit of science here. So your actin and myosin filaments are locked, so you can produce a lot of force because the weight's heavy. So that's when you generate mechanical tension. When the weight's heavier, you're struggling to get your reps, so you get a lot of mechanical tension. Now, it's not just about heavy weight though, or you can do a couple sets of 2 or 3 that are heavy and you get really big. So there's also a level of exhausting your muscle fibers that needs to be done. So from a very simplistic point of view, usually you start a set with a weight that's first reps, easy, 5, 6 reps, okay, starting a little bit hard. But then you start getting fatigued at some point, and you start tapping into all your muscle fibers. So there's a level of exhaustion that happens with muscle fibers initially, and then more muscle fibers are called into play to help. That's just real basic fundamental stuff. I'm sure all of you guys know that. When all those fibers are coming into play because you're fatigued and you're working really hard, those are what I consider personally to be the most important reps. So if you do a set of 10, the reps that really matter to me are probably like reps 8, 9, and 10. You can't tell me the reps 1 through 5 are challenging you in any meaningful way unless you're a beginner, maybe a little bit of an intermediate. So if you think about this, let's think about this. If you normally do 3 sets of 10, maybe your 8th, 9th, and 10th rep are pretty hard. So you've got 9 hard reps if you're using that style. 9 hard reps. That's not bad. Now think about what we just did. Reps 8, 9, and 10 were hard. Then maybe I did 5 after that. So the first 2 might not have been hard. Then 14 and 15 were hard. Then they were all hard after that. You know, I would say out of those 25 reps, maybe 14 to 15 of them were really hard. Even if you said 13 reps were really hard out of that 25, that's still more than 9 reps being hard. So it's a way to get a lot of hard reps done that far exceeds what you normally do with your traditional 3 sets of 8. Now, it's a high intensity technique though, because what's going to happen when you try this, you're probably going to get really sore because you're not used to doing that many hard reps. So you read it on a piece of paper and you're like, oh, that's just 1 set, that's not bad. But the reality is there's more hard reps in that than there is in a typical 3 sets of 10 rep scheme. So you're getting a lot of really hard reps in a short amount of time. You're creating a lot of mechanical tension, and you're creating fatigue in those muscle fibers. That's what building muscle is. It's about creating mechanical tension with a weight that's hard, and then working through hard reps and creating some fatigue with those fibers. That's what building muscle is. That's what it's all about. And that is a great way to do it in a short amount of time. Now, how often would you use this? I've made this mistake. I've done too many of these sets. I think if you do 2 exercises this way, that's plenty. I would not advise you to do every exercise this way. I would pick 1 the first week you do them, first couple weeks, and then maybe 2 exercises after that. And all you need is that 1 set. You don't need 3 sets and then this set. Trust me on that, or you'll be really, really sore. Now there's one more thing that's really important to talk about here. Well, 2 more things. One more thing is, what type of exercises would you do this on? Would you do it on a barbell squat? Absolutely not. You're asking for an injury doing that many hard reps on a barbell squat, a barbell bench press. I would stick to machines where this can be done pretty safely. So today we're doing leg extensions, a hack squat's a good one, a pendulum squat, things like that. Use a machine where it's safe. I would stay away from barbells on this type of high intensity exercise. I think you'd be really risking injury, and I'm all about longevity. So then the last thing I want to address, because I know you'll ask, is how often can you do this? Well, it is very intense. So if you're doing this for 4 to 6 weeks for a muscle group, I think that's plenty. So if your legs are a weak point, for instance, program these in for 6 weeks, 1 or 2 sets of these per leg workout for 6 weeks. And then the intensity, you probably need to back off, but give it 4 to 6 weeks and see what happens. So that's it. I appreciate you watching as always. The 10-25 technique is brutal. Find a way you can do for 10 and gut out 25 reps with it. And you're probably going to get somewhere around 13 to 15 really hard, productive reps that aren't just glorified warm-up reps. All right, thanks, and we'll see you next time.